Alas, I didn't want to bring up the topic of fakes and racism again, but it is necessary, since today, along with unmanned spy killers and the bombing of churches and maternity hospitals, the battle is also fought according to the laws of hybrid war, which, according to the generally accepted definition, is, I quote, has no moral or legal constraints. Modern methods and tactics of hybrid warfare require more and more attention from forensic scientists. A few hours before the start of the planned negotiations between the foreign ministers of Azerbaijan and Armenia in Geneva, Aliyev delivered a keynote speech made in the form of questions and answers by Interfax Azerbaijan, a kind of self-interview. Key points. Armenia is an alien object on the body of the Caucasus. It has come here later than everyone else. If it, Armenia, continues to confront us, if it continues to make territorial claims against Turkey, it must understand that how it can oppose us. We are not them. We will not bomb any cities or civilians. In Ganja, we have no military bases, no military camps. After all, he is lying about Pashinyan. So, in order, the three key postulates. Armenia is an alien object on the body of the Caucasus. It has come here later than everyone else, and if Armenia continues to confront us, if it continues to make territorial claims to Turkey, it must understand how it can oppose us. There are attempts to substantiate their plans for further expansion and seizure of the territory of the state of Armenia or its part. It takes one look at the map and everything will become clear. Armenia hinders the territorial unification of Azerbaijan and Turkey by its existence. At the same time, de facto, Armenia has its present territory, or rather what is left of it. But de jure, the territories of Armenia are within the borders drawn after the First World War. And this is unacceptable for Turkey, fearing that someday the international community will force Turkey to reckon with Woodrow Wilson's arbitration decision on the Turkish-Armenian borders. Erdogan has already involved Aliyev in this case, using the example of Karabakh, to completely discourage the Armenians from raising the Armenian question. That is, to seek recognition of the Armenian genocide in Ottoman Empire with all the ensuing consequences. And Aliyev goes further, as always, wielding fakes or demonstrating his complete illiteracy. Declares that Armenians have lived here for only 200 years. Quote, it so happened historically that for 200 years the Armenian population has been living on these lands. Probably it was the Azerbaijanis or the Turks themselves who built Armenian churches, stone stels, khachkars, cross-stones, tombs on this territory, some of which are several thousand years old. The authorities of Azerbaijan are successfully carrying out psychological terror over their people. Distortion of their history, the history of neighboring countries, and even the people who inhabited or once inhabited their native country is a deplorable result of such a policy. Moreover, Azerbaijani history textbooks instill hatred and a sense of national superiority, first of all towards the Armenians and then towards the Russians and Iranians. This is evidenced by the research of the Turkish scientists themselves. And in order to frighten the countries and people who are not very well versed in Caucasian affairs, Aliyev declares, quote, the main threat not only for us, but also for the region is Armenian separatism and extremism. In a genocidal way to take away their lands from the people, commit violence against them, then call it a separatism. One needs to come up with such an invention. The countries of the region, Iran and Georgia, regardless of their attitude to the Karabakh issue, will not pay attention to this statement. For at least 200 years, according to Aliyev, they have been neighbors with the Armenian people. But to disorient the world community, as well as its own citizens, is the very thing. Moreover, on the eve of the talks in Geneva, considering that this will work. The next block. In Ganja, we have no military bases, no military camps. After all, he's lying about Pashinyan. This is not just fake or misinformation. If we accept that this is being done for a foreign public, for God's sake, the facts are an ocean, to put it mildly. The 21st century is the age of information. Nobody buys. But after all, both in Ganja and in Barda, there are citizens of his country who are in an information blockade. So, legitimate military targets of the Artsakh Defense Army located in the cities of Azerbaijan. Ganja, air base of the Air Force of the Ministry of Defense of Azerbaijan, helicopter squadron. Motorized Rifle Brigade of the General Staff. Special Force Brigade. Combat Control Center of the Ministry of Defense. Radio Engineering Battalion of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. Base of Fuels and Lubricants of the Central Subordination of the Ministry of Defense. Machine Building Plant of the Ministry of Defense. Aircraft Repair Plant and Artillery Armament Repair Plant. Barda, Headquarters of the 1st Army Corps. Repair Battalion. Separate Communications Battalion. Anti-Aircraft Missile Division. Tank Brigade. Anti-Tank Division. The Armenian side, not Azerbaijani, publishes lists of these objects, warning the residents of the cities about the planned strikes. And finally, Aliyev's statement, "We are not them. We will not bomb any cities or civilians." And this was said on the same day when the maternity hospital in Stepanakert was bombed. Maternity hospital! And the city of Stepanakert and Shushi are just in ruins. Bombs, including cluster bombs, have been dropped on residential buildings since the first day of the war. People and buildings are being destroyed. Aliyev says, quote, "Our vision of the settlement lies in the joint residence of the Armenians and Azerbaijani population of Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenians and Azerbaijanis live together in neighboring countries and get along well with each other. Why can't this be achieved in Nagorno-Karabakh? How is this possible under Nazism?" An interesting post appeared in social networks with a very peculiar formulation of an Azerbaijani journalist. Armenians are enemies by nationality. That's what they thought of. These are no longer textbooks. This is what an opinion maker says. It is so very easy to control the consciousness and conscience of its citizens. This is already a hybrid war, directed at one's own society first of all, and then, as its chain reaction, anywhere. The war continues. People are dying on either side. Aliyev's game of fakes and Nazism is costly for both sides. Erdogan pointed out to Putin some kind of red line in the Caucasus. I wonder, what is he talking about? Let's remember the epic war after the Tavush.